all locked in now.
Your home for the best sports radio in Utah is right here on the KSL Sports Zone. It's time to kick off your afternoon drive with Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
Allow me to introduce the best of the best.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson. Thank you for making us a part of your day. However, you may be listening to the show. Absorbing is the word Ben likes to use.
Injecting.
That's not good either.
Oh.
Pick line.
Yeah, pick line. Mainline it right to your heart, like an antibiotic.
No.
Okay.
Inject sounds too almost, what am I looking for here?
Invasive? Medical?
No. Like controlling.
That's
like
the goal, pal.
No, like injecting propaganda into the masses. You know what I mean?
1984, buddy.
No,
We're here.
No, I don't. Absorbing's better than
Okay.
that. You might be on the YouTube. You might be at KSLSports.com. Shout out to our friends from the future in the podcast world, or, of course, rolling around town, listening to us on 97.5 or 1280 The Dam, as I talked about yesterday.
Yeah.
1280 The Beef.
Yeah.
1280 the Wolverine.
What do they call a den? Maybe the den? Is that where beavers live?
Oh, the den? Oh, no. That's the Beaver Dam. But where do Wolverines live?
No, I'm talking about, I guess I understand. Well, yeah, but that also could be where Wolverines live.
No. Wolverines live in a den.
Oh, they do live in a den.
Beavers live in a dam.
No, beavers build a dam.
Yeah, they live there.
You think they live in the dam?
Oh, yeah.
It's in the water.
Why not? It's blocking up the water. I don't know. I'm not a biologist, Ben. We did get a funny tweet. Did you see, speaking of us being the Wolverine station, did you see the tweet we got a while ago from someone labels themselves Live Outdoors?
No.
Really?
No, I didn't see it.
Oh, it says, so KSL Sports Zone is trying to convince us all that we should care about Michigan football. You know who you are. At Jake Scott Zone, at PK Kinahan, at Ben's Hoops. You all desperate for content or just caught up in the bromance with KW?
I mean, a little. Kyle Whittingham was here for like 20 plus years. It's a big deal.
I'm just trying to peg this guy. It's like, of course, KSL is like, where's this guy coming from?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ohio State fan.
But no, I don't think we're trying to convince anybody to care about Michigan football. But I do think a lot of fans around here care about Kyle Whittingham. Yes, I think that's true. Bromance, not really.
No, I didn't have a particularly strong relationship with Kyle Whittingham. PK probably more so than me. I don't think you had a particularly strong relationship with him other than we covered him for, my entire career and your entire career.
I said hello to him at brunch once.
Okay.
We were at the same brunch.
Mm-hmm.
We were brunching, but not together.
Not together.
But I did say hello. I think it was Easter. I think I said Happy Easter.
Hey, Coach. A beaver's home is called a lodge.
Okay.
And it's a dome-shaped house made of sticks, mud, and rocks. And it does look like it has water that comes into it.
Oh, all right.
A little bit like a dam. But you're right, a Wolverine lives in a den. So, 97.5, the den.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. No, I actually quite dislike Michigan football, if I'm being
You are
honest.
a Michigan, I think it's fair to call you a hater.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. You didn't like them when we talked about them when Harbaugh was there? You liked the downfall of Harbaugh? You liked the downfall of Sharon Moore?
I did not root for Tom Brady 1 second of his career for one reason.
Mm-hmm.
And that reason is, Ben?
Played backup football at Michigan.
He went to Michigan. Not rooting for that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why,
Yeah.
but I'm not doing it.
And I am a little warmer towards Michigan. I always liked Kyle Whittingham. I thought his evolution as a person was one of the more interesting stories we've had locally over the last 20 years, going from chippy, hard-nosed D coordinator, which some of that obviously stayed, but like softening as a grandfather, picking up golf. Some of his evolution into a more well-rounded person, I thought, off the field was really interesting. I did think there was a moment where he was probably the biggest star in sports locally. I thought he was the best person at his particular job of anyone in sports locally for a few years there. He was a true superstar. I thought one of the 5 or 10 best coaches in college football. I don't know if that's still the case. In fact, I think that's what's so interesting about going to Michigan. Is he that? Is he one of the 5 to 10 best coaches in college football? That's what I'm curious to learn. But whatever. But he's gotten replaced. He will get replaced. Everyone will get replaced.
Best 5 to 10 in college football? I don't know if I would 100% agree with that. He had kind of a maddening style. He won a lot of games in like an unappealing way.
He was not a particularly flattering coach. His teams were not particularly flattering outside of they ran the ball and they stopped the run, which he talked about today at Big Ten Media Days.
So, yeah, I mean, he won the league a couple of times. Good for him. I don't think he's unreplaceable, but he is a story. He was here forever. And like we said yesterday, I mean, we never saw Jerry Sloan coach somewhere else. We never saw Lavelle Edwards take the Detroit Lions job, you know?
Right.
We kind of saw Rick Majerus at, what was that, St. Louis?
Absolutely.
But not at a big time, gig. So, I don't know. It makes it at least interesting. I bet a lot of people, whether they admit it or not, will follow it.
Absolutely. I think a lot of people would admit it. It's just not the people who are going to jump online to talk about
But
it.
I will say to live outdoors, the whole station is not mounting a campaign to convince you to care about Michigan football.
Do you think?
I can assure you that that meeting never took place.
I do remember there being a fear when Gary Anderson took the Wisconsin job, and then maybe even more relevantly with Kalani, the Oregon State job, that they were going to come in and start picking all the best players out of the state of Utah. And of course, and I mean that facetiously, everyone was going to want to leave Utah to go play at Oregon State because you got to go play at the Lodge. You got to get up there.
Go play for the Beavs.
You got to go play for the damn Beavs. You got to get up there. And that didn't really happen. There were some. I remember a tight end particularly that left and I think ended up transferring back.
That was all. I mean, that always happens. It happens more now.
When Utah, the running back coach that we were talking about that left Utah for USC, the fear was off.
It was already
all the best players out of USC or out of Utah.
Bad news for everyone. That was already happening.
It was already happening. As soon as Utah got in the Pac-12, everyone started recruiting. But you're right, even before then.
Your fellow Highland Ram, Lodi Nada, did not play locally.
No, he did not.
He played for the Oregon Ducks.
Correct.
And that was, 2005? I mean...
Before that, yeah.
Before that?
Yeah, 03, 02.
So that was always a kind of a silly talking point. And Gary flamed out at Oregon State. I don't know if we ever had a chance really to to see the effects of a Utah guy, a quote-unquote
and
Utah guy.
And Kalani didn't take that job.
Uh-uh.
Kalani didn't end up taking the head coaching job there.
Man, remember how that ended? Remember Gary texting the the columnist up there? And I think the columnist just published his text.
I didn't predict that for Gary at Oregon State. If you had to predict how Kyle Whittingham's run at Michigan ends, what's your guess?
Oh, the same way as Sharon Moore. That's easy.
In a white Ford Bronco.
Oh yeah,
with,
the butter knife and all.
Michigan's helicopter chasing him down whatever the main road is.
It's going to end in cuffs, just like Sharon Moore.
Whit with a butter knife in his hand, hands behind his back, in cuffs. Cop on his hand on his head, lowering him into a police car. I'd be surprised.
That would be surprising.
That would be a real shocker.
But if I have to make a prediction, it's probably that.
I bet it goes out with a whimper.
Well, I bet what's the likelihood he gets fired? He has to leave Michigan not by his own choosing.
I think he will be there for 24 to 36 months. I think everyone will recognize, like, okay, you cleaned up the mess. The drama is gone.
Uh-huh.
I don't think it's going to be either Jay Hill or the offensive coordinator, just follow him, Jason Beck, who ends up taking over at Michigan. They'll go get some hotshot, and one of those two guys will end up back in Utah at one of our local schools doing something. Or maybe at, New Mexico as the head coach. I don't know. But
So fired.
No, I think there is a built-in expiration date with Witt because he's as old as he is, because Michigan doesn't want a bunch of stopgap coaches. They're going to want to get a young guy who they think can be there for 7 or 8 years. Their own Jason Day or their own whoever. DeBoer. That they don't want 60-year-olds. In fact, they didn't want this 60-year-old. They wanted a bunch of other coaches first before they got this 60-year-old. So, no, as much as we're going to talk about Whit right now, it's fleeting because I think it's designed to be fleeting. It'd be more interesting if Penn State hired Kalani. He might be there for a decade. There's no decade for Whit anywhere.
Except for the whole Rosie Whit goes off into the sunset thing is the same lie we've been telling ourselves here for how long?
That Whit would know the end? Oh, I'm not saying it's into the sunshine, that he's riding off peacefully. Yeah, I think they're going to tell him, like, cool, your contract is over now.
He has more than a 3-year contract.
I think he has a 5-year deal.
Yeah, so fired then.
Maybe Whit just says, "Hey, I get my guaranteed $40 million or whatever the deal was worth, and I'm happy to leave. I'm done."
But what you're talking, I mean, you're trying to make it rosier, but what you're talking about is being fired.
Okay, maybe.
So, I don't know.
I think Whit.
I think that's more likely than a national title.
Yeah, I agree. And I do think they have national title on the brain because Ohio State has national title on the brain because they won one in the last 5 years.
Listen, and I don't mean this to be political at all, but when Joe Biden got elected, the idea was this is a stopgap guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Right, yeah.
And then it gets down, it gets a little further along, and he's like, maybe I'm not so stopgap.
Things are going well. And everyone's like, are they, Joe?
Is it going okay? But do you know what I mean? Uh-huh. So we all get caught up in the rosy, like, oh, here comes this old timer to clean up what's broken.
He'll know when enough is enough.
And then he'll be like, hey, let me hand off my coaching hat to the next guy and say, go get him, younger generation. Mm-hmm. Which is exactly what we said to ourselves for the last 5 years he was at Utah.
Correct.
Well, his dad, how many times do we hear?
Yeah, right.
Well, his dad passed away at 64, so, he doesn't want to keep coaching and on and on and on. And maybe Whit thought that. And he actually, didn't he kind of admit it? Where he said, never speak your retirement into existence or however he implied that. Like, maybe he meant it at the time. Like, I've only got 4 or 5 years left. But when push came to shove, he was like, boy, Kalani signed a pretty good deal to stay there at BYU. And you know what? I feel great. Let's run it back. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm with you. I could see a couple of 9-win seasons, and all of a sudden Michigan fans are grumpy because they haven't beaten Ohio State for a couple of years, and they say, you know what's probably best? You not working here anymore. Mm-hmm. And they'll dress it up with some language, maybe, and then hire somebody else. If it goes well, like if he's winning Big Ten titles, he'll be there for that full 5. I hear you, or I guarantee you, and he'll probably have his hand out for an extension.
Is there a chance Whit coaches another team?
After this one? Mm-hmm. Yeah. A chance.
Like, he goes for 2 years, 3 years, wins. Let's see. Say he wins 26 games over the next 3 years, which is good. Uh-huh. That means 10 wins, 8 wins, and 8 wins. Just fine. It's not good enough to keep the job and get an extension at Michigan. It's good enough to get a job at TCU or Baylor or whatever if somebody else wants to bring him in. Ron McBride went and coached at Weber State. Frank Layden coached the Salt Lake City Stars. I do think that is hard to pull out of people.
No, Mac is a great example and actually a super positive story. When he left Utah, there was a lot of feeling around that it was because he was a little bit older and had trouble connecting with
the
younger crowd. And, whether that was true or not, that was kind of the rap on it. I don't think Coach Mack stayed unemployed for 10 minutes. He was the linebackers coach at Kentucky.
Right. You're right. And
he was there for 2 years. And then the Weber job came open. And he's like, heck yeah, I'll take the Weber job. Mm-hmm. He coached at Weber State, got run over on the sidelines, broke I don't want to say his hip or leg or whatever.
Suffered an injury.
Coached the next game from the dang booth. Mm-hmm. these guys, and you know what? Coach Mack in his 90s now still has energy coming out his ears.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sure Coach Witt looked at it and said, "Man, I don't feel old." And I'm sure his father to him at 64 seemed so old, and he's like, "I'm not that old." It's like the picture of the Raider guy and the picture of Tom Brady at 43 or whatever it was. What was that guy's name? George Blanda? Is that the guy's name?
Yeah, I think you're right.
There's he played for the Raiders at like 43, and so
Correct.
did Tom.
Yeah.
And you look at the side-by-side
One of them
pictures.
looks like
Blanda,
1,000 years old.
Blanda looks like Walter Matthau from Grumpier Old Men.
Right.
And Tom Brady looks like he's 10. You know, it's growing old is something else because we all feel young, right?
It always feels different than you think. 40 feels different than I thought.
Way different.
40 feels closer to 18 than 60. And 60 is going to feel closer to 30 than 80.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I don't know. But the peaceful, quiet, he'll coach until he feels like the program is where it needs to be to hand it to the as I become older, I believe in that crap so much less. It's never easy. Look at how Witt left Utah. It's just never easy.
No, it's not.
I mean, the way Lavelle left BYU wasn't particularly easy.
Yeah.
If you gave him truth serum, I don't know if he would have told you he was 100% ready to go. But he was a good soldier and rode off into the sunset. Witt wasn't going to do that.
But, I mean, players do this also. You know, LeBron,
Oh, yeah.
Michael. But,
The man on the Sixers?
Greg Popovich suffered a stroke at the game and was like, well, I'm just biding my time until it's my return. It's like,
Greg.
this is your second, I believe, serious medical episode. Might have been your second stroke. You had one a half an hour before a game.
Yeah.
Everything is telling you it's time and didn't recognize it or couldn't say goodbye, you know. Witt's healthy. Witt probably still goes and jumps under the bench press with the players.
Dude, have you ever, and my parents aren't at this point, but my father-in-law was, have you ever tried to take a driver's license away from somebody that should not have a driver's license?
I have not.
It's
I bet it's brutal.
It's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's no fun at all for anybody.
Well, if Witt needs it,
You know
you
what I
get to
mean?
go take it
No,
from
no, no,
Witt.
but
He'll just be on his bike like he was for the first 15 years of his career at Utah.
I feel like I'm sounding critical, about Kyle not riding off into the sunset or telling us forever that he was going to and then not doing it. I don't mean to. I think it's actually super relatable.
And probably should have been more predictable.
And absolutely should have been more predictable, for sure. All right. Well, sorry to who was this person
Touch
again?
grass. What was his name? Stay outside.
Live outdoors.
Live outdoors. Okay.
You know what's funny is, and we don't have to dive into this, I guess, but this guy's actual handle and bio, and then whatever the name is.
Uh-huh.
What's the difference? The actual handle is at Patriot in the U.S.
Okay.
Exclamation point. And then his name is Live Outdoors. And his bio is very it says liberalism literally kills.
Okay.
So this is an outdoors guy, but not like a crunchy groove outdoors
like
guy.
Henry David Thoreau.
Okay.
Like
yeah. Right.
disconnect from everything.
No, I just see Live Outdoors and I think, this is some hippie yelling at us about Michigan football. And then I look to the other parts and it's like, no, that kind of contradicts.
All comers are welcome.
But anyway, good
and
on.
all complaints are welcome.
Yeah, good times. Yeah. Thanks for listening, Live Outdoors.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. But no, we're not trying to convince. Maybe Christian is, I don't know. But people to
Christian programs the show.
care about Michigan football. Yeah. Maybe I missed the meeting where we all, on the same page as KSL Sports, decided to push Michigan.
Big Michigan fans.
Did PK call that meeting? I missed it. All right. Top three stories of the day.
First meeting you missed.
Top three stories of the day. They will not include Michigan football. I
Are we
assure
sure?
you. Yeah, no.
It's Big Ten Media Day.
We just talked about it for
Okay.
like 20 minutes.
Okay.
We're moving on.
Okay.
At least for now. I mean, we can get to Whit Cuts later. It's a 4-hour show,
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about.
All right. Stay tuned. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's time to break down the biggest stories of the day. This is the top 3 stories of the day on KSLSports.com. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson. It's time for the top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com. It's brought to you by J. Brooks Jewelers. Cherish your love with J. Brooks Jewelers. Explore their expertly crafted engagement rings made from the finest materials. J. Brooks Jewelers. All right, Christian, where do you want to start today?
Number one, you guys tell me how much you think this is actually going to matter. But the WNBA posted a video last night and has since deleted it of Paige Beckers and Angel Reese making a bet on their game last night. And here is that audio.
At All-Star Weekend, you and Angel made a bet with each other on this game. Is that bet still?
This is how the rich stay rich. You gotta save this money. I'm gonna see you next week on Wednesday.
Yeah.
At night?
No, at practice.
Oh, at practice? I mean, I know y'all gonna lose, but if y'all lose,
I get to have that.
If y'all win, you get it 400.
I get 400. And if we lose, then you get.
No, you owe me 400.
Bet. I'm staying on it.
So the WNBA posted a video of them talking about betting on,
And there's money.
and there was money involved, and this was born out of the All-Star game, correct? My question is, well, 2 things. One, everyone knows about the planes. Everybody knows about, and what I mean is, like, they're just playing cards on every plane. And I mean, I'm talking about the NBA. I haven't covered the WNBA, but if they're doing it in the NBA with their per diem, why wouldn't they be doing it in the WNBA with their per diem? They're passing the time. They're super competitive people. Everyone likes money. This money is literally delivered to you in cash. They don't Venmo it to you, so you're sitting on the plane for these long trips. You probably want to play. We all know this has happened. So that's one thing. I don't know why people are up in arms about it now. But the second thing would be, why would the WNBA post this? How stupid are you? We all know this happens on NBA planes. You don't see the Utah Jazz posting photos of Jaren Jackson Jr. playing against Yusuf Nurkic on the plane, or whoever plays. I don't know who plays, but somebody's playing. Mm-hmm. So why would the WNBA post this? How stupid do you have to be?
Well, one, this and playing Boo-Ray on planes are unrelated. One is not related to the other in the slightest. The rule is you cannot bet on basketball, specifically a game you are playing in, period, end of story. They're not playing Boo-Ray on the plane.
They are not on the plane.
The rule isn't you can't play Boo-Ray on the plane. The rule is, Ben, you can't bet on the game.
Correct.
So I'm not buying.
Legally, you probably can't be playing on the plane either.
But well, I don't know.
Cash games? No, you can't be holding your old cash games.
I don't know. Is it like if you're in the air, the rules are the same like you're at sea?
Not at all.
International airs.
Yeah.
No, it's not a thing. You have to get out to space before that applies. I don't think you're flying that high.
But what if you're flying over Nevada?
Yeah, then maybe then.
I don't think that's how the law
It's
works.
like goaltending. There's an infinite line that goes up on the boundary of the rim or the state line that imagine as long as you're over that territory, you can gamble, sure. Regardless.
You cannot buy mini bottles in Utah, but you can buy mini bottles on a plane flying over Utah. So I don't know if I really buy into what you're saying there. So that it would be illegal. I honestly have no idea
I don't know
how that works. But this is not that.
Federal regulation.
This is not that at all. This is betting on a game that they're playing in. So
Angel Reese won, by the way.
But to minimize the infraction is honestly frustrating to me. To minimize the infraction by saying, "Oh, it's just gambling. These are adults who gamble all the time," frustrates me because that's not what happened. What happened is the rule was broken. I don't care if they're betting money with each other on the game of war. Makes no difference to me. You cannot bet on a game you're playing in. You cannot bet on basketball. That is the rule. Now to your second point of why the WNBA would tweet out about it. And the answer is because they are the worst run league in sports. They are so awful and so terrible at their entire existence. It's amazing that they still exist. Amazing. You own gold. Gambling is the hottest topic in sports right now. It is the focal point of sports. To own goal yourself by tweeting out a video of two of your star players breaking the rule that everybody is talking about is so hilariously bad. It's almost like somebody wrote it, and we're going to see a Netflix comedy about this someday. Like some flighty social media person that accidentally sank an entire basketball league because, I don't know, they weren't paying attention or they didn't know the rules or whatever it is. Outrageous.
Can I make a prediction? I bet the WNBA ends up going back and enforcing some rule here. I bet you they end up going back.
That's not the news today. Today says they're not punishing anybody.
Well, would be the first time anyone's ever changed their mind after coming out with the decision. Like, I don't care that ESPN said that today. I bet you the pressure for exactly what you're talking about. Because, yes, if you Google or Twitter search Paige Beckers or Angel Reese, everyone's like, how is this any different than Sorsby? How is this any different than Pete Rose? I won't be surprised if the WNBA starts to feel some pressure of this, hoping they could get away with just deleting a tweet. And the fact that, as we learned in the social network, the internet's written in ink, all this stuff sticks around. If they go back and say, hey, we actually do have to do something about this.
It would not shock me if some idiot PR person came up with the idea that says, hey, you know what would make a good video is if these two guys bet a couple $100 on the game and then we can put it out there. Imagine how dumb
you have to be an idiot.
You have to be so dumb.
Yeah.
Ben, I've had to, when I worked for the Millers, I had to sit through that gambling thing every year. Angie did too, I'm sure. You have to sit through that thing where Sam Harkness stands up there, the attorney for the Jazz at the time, and gives an hour presentation entirely on this subject. Can you imagine if you worked for the league?
Absolutely. No, absolutely.
Let alone had control of their social media. You work for the league.
And this is only gaining momentum even as we speak. Like every couple of minutes there's a tweet coming out about it. Honestly, I won't be surprised if the WNBA comes out and says, you know what, this is a rule. We want to make sure we nip this in the bud now, and we're going to do it.
Well, Adam Silver already had to step in once with the commissioner.
Well, Kathy Engelbert stinks. She is the worst commissioner
Obviously.
in sports. And
just dreadful.
If she's deferring to Adam Silver, who might be the other worst commissioner in sports right now, that's a really bad sign.
Oh, she didn't defer to him. He had to step in.
Yeah.
And he is her boss.
Yeah.
The NBA owns the WNBA. He is her boss, and he had to step in because you can't have throat punches. And the refs turn a blind eye.
Yeah.
How do they even exist? They have, you know what? They're
the
like
WNBA?
They're like Larry Scott with the dang tennis league. You know, a complete buffoon that accidentally got some marketable players and accidentally is doing much better than it ever has.
Yeah. No, the product is good because the quality of the players is good right now. The people running it have not caught up to the quality of the player.
Just awful.
Yeah, it stinks.
But
Engelbert's going to be out soon. Somebody will step in and take that job.
Who would the NBA? I mean, it would be like if who would be the NBA equivalent of? It'd be honestly like if Draymond Green and Steph Curry did that.
We're betting on this game.
We're betting on an All-Star game, and the NBA put out.
Yeah, I mean, Paige Beckers legitimately might be the best player in the league.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Steph Curry and Draymond Green, kind of a star, but not the best player. Angel Reese.
Yeah. Joel Embiid and
hey,
Luka
we've got
Doncic.
$400 on the game.
Shea, Paige Beckers is Shea. Yeah, and
the NBA said it out.
Best player in the league. It was like, cool. Just tweet that out. These guys betting on it. Yeah, you're right. I won't. Again, I know ESPN today said the WNBA won't punish them. We'll see.
But this is
the WNBA didn't say they won't punish them. ESPN said they won't punish them.
But the point is not hating on the two for gambling. They can do whatever they want with their money. I could not care any less. Actually, that's not true. I do care that they do not bet on. You should not be gambling on basketball.
Yep.
But if you want to play tiddlywinks on the plane, knock yourself right out. I don't care. Did you ever play that game?
No, I've heard of tiddlywinks.
With the little winks and you flip them? No?
I don't think so. Christian, tiddlywinks?
I thought he made that word up.
I'm really worried. I'm fearful of even Googling that at work. So
yeah.
Oh, dude, it's a kid's game. You can look it up.
I know. I don't know how to spell it, and thus I'm not going to do it.
It's in my kid's Berenstain Bears book.
Sure. Berenstain Bears.
Whatever. A lot of good lessons in those books. Next.
Number 2, BYU legend Taysom Hill posted on social media yesterday his farewell to the New Orleans Saints.
This was kind of weird to me.
Why?
Because the New Orleans Saints posted it?
You know the team he played for a long time? What, that they posted it, not Taysom himself?
That this is clearly not like an amiable divorce. Something's weird. Like, they're not going to pay him what he wants, so he's leaving. When that happens, the Jazz didn't post Walker Kessler's Player Tribune article or Gordon Hayward's Player Tribune article when he left, being like, "Woof, how did we get here? What a run." Well, why did they post this?
No, I don't know. The Saints are owned by the Bensons. They're
poorly run.
They're
yeah,
terrible.
they're also extremely poorly run.
Taysom Hill, here's how I will remember Taysom Hill's pro career, and this is going to sound really insulting, but I actually mean it as a compliment. It lasted way longer than it should have. And if he might
What do you
play,
mean should
he
have?
might as well play again, or he might well play again. He took well, how long has he been in the league now? 10 years? Longer?
At least, yeah.
9? He took a way unconventional path to stay in the NFL
Yes,
for
he
9
did.
years. He was a quarterback trying to make it as a quarterback coming out of BYU, and he wasn't good enough at that position, solely at that position, to be an NFL player. So instead of washing out of the league like Tim Tebow or remember Eric Crouch, of course Christian does it, but the old Nebraska quarterback coming out was just electric. Everybody's like, dude, you should play safety or something. He's like, I am a quarterback. And then didn't even make it a year, I don't think, in the league. Taysom Hill said, I'll play some special teams. Sure. You want me to run on kickoff team and smash somebody's face in? Yeah, I'd be happy to do that. And then, you get your footing with the team and you say, I can play a little wildcat, I can do special teams, I can wrong foot the other team because I can pass a little bit, or not a little bit. He had a great arm. His accuracy just wasn't great.
He's just a freak athlete, yeah.
But it was good enough to wrong foot the other team when he's run it 7 times in a row when he's been on the field, and then all of a sudden he hits somebody on a deep route, He made a hell of a career out of doing that.
Yeah.
And I think as an example to players out there where, hey, be adaptable to the circumstance. Like if you've ever heard Christian Cox's story on how he ended up eventually on the Patriots, it was basically just saying yes to coaches when they're like, hey, what do you think about D-line? He's like, sure.
Great. Love that idea.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Whatever you need, whatever I can do for you. I think that part of the story is great because based on his ability at quarterback, he probably shouldn't have made it in the NFL.
Correct. I agree with that. But he was smart enough to not say, I have to be a quarterback. He wasn't stubborn.
But he remained a quarterback, which is kind of funny. He even had it
For
built.
a couple of years.
I mean, his whole career he's been a quarterback.
He hasn't.
He does other things, but yes.
He almost exclusively does other things.
Like what?
Special teams. He's been a tight end for a lot of his career. Taysom's not been a quarterback for the Saints.
He's been a quarterback the whole time. I don't think he's ever been a tight end. He's been a basically wildcat quarterback for his entire career.
He's done some of that, but yeah, he's not dropping back and throwing a whole lot of passes.
He even had his pay scale set up for how much time he spent at quarterback, adjusted how much he was paid.
He did.
He was a wildcat quarterback. That was his position. That still is his position.
He's done more as a pass catcher than ball thrower.
Oh, that's entirely not true. He spent the whole swaths of the season starting a quarterback for the Saints.
He's been listed the last 2 years on every roster as a tight end. Not that we need to get arguing about the minutia of this.
No.
But no, I mean, he hasn't been a quarterback since his first 2 years in New Orleans, right?
Oh, he played longer than that.
I mean, his first 2 years in New Orleans. He was kind of only a quarterback, and then he shifted and was doing, again, all the special team stuff. Was blocking kicks. That was why everyone started talking about him as this gadget player and how interesting he was there. Regardless, neither here nor there. Yeah, where I would push back is that, he's been in the NFL longer than he should have been. No, he's done exactly what he should have been doing. He was a great college quarterback because he was the best athlete on the field. And then, like Antoine Randall or whoever else has done this kind of similar pathway, recognizes that if he wanted to make money, he shouldn't be stubborn. And he wasn't stubborn, so he left. Or he changed what he did. And that's where Taysom Hill has been successful. But yeah, I thought this was very weird from the Saints to want to. I think it's nice to publish his comments. Though it certainly kind of seems like, as we were talking about with Witt in the first segment, they're kind of telling him to move on, that they're done with him. So I thought that was weird.
Next.
Number 3. Sounds like LeBron James will be teaming up with ESPN for Le Last Dance.
A Last Dance style documentary, Ben. Everybody has been saying, oh, it's going to be a Netflix doc. Incorrect. ESPN will be at the helm. Or will at least air it. LeBron's own people are probably making it, I would guess. That's basically what Michael Jordan's was.
Yeah, I would imagine he gets a huge cut of it and gets production credits and, gets points on it, and then ESPN will air it, which, it's fine. I'm sure it just went to the highest bidder.
Yeah, probably did, but it does confirm that it's going to happen. And I think it's going to be a disaster because I don't think that they're going to win the title. So the question to me is, does he do what Michael did and sit on it for 20 years because he doesn't want to release it? Or does he run right in and release it?
I don't think LeBron is comfortable stepping out of the spotlight long enough to allow 4 or 5 years, or Michael Jordan's case, 20 years.
So we're gonna watch Le Doc like next year.
The day he retires, the Le Doc will start to come out. Yeah, no question about it. It's going to be an 8-part series. It's going to fill an entire summer the same way he just filled this entire summer with LeBron James free agency. And then he will move on to team ownership or whatever he's trying to do next. But, I do not expect
that. If he is trying to accomplish something like Michael Jordan, that's a terrible idea. What made Michael's doc truly magic?
That COVID was going on and there was nothing else to watch?
No. Which
I do think that was a huge part of it. I think that was enormously
No, but why was it appealing? Because it was nostalgia. It was you and I looking back into the 90s saying, oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember that series. Oh, the glove. And then you see, them in today's talking about the throwback to it all, right? If he releases the Le Doc next year, it'd be like, what?
Yeah, exactly right.
That just happened.
It's what we're talking about with the live action Moana.
Yeah, there's no nostalgia whatsoever there at all. I mean, he'd be really smart if he sat on it for at least 5 or 10 years just to give it a little bit of a...
The other part of it that made it magical with Michael, other than, yes, the nostalgia, and yes, the COVID, there was nothing else going on to watch, was that Michael was so notoriously private, we didn't get this type of access to Michael. LeBron is everywhere all the time. LeBron is all over social media. You can't get away from LeBron. So if the idea is, I'm going to retire, and then you're going to see a documentary about me, it's going to be live action Moana. We haven't had enough time to stop thinking about LeBron. It's just going to be continue to shove down our throat.
Exactly.
And I don't think people want that.
I mean, it might have a little nostalgia to it in that LeBron has played for 20 years, and I'm sure that Le Doc will be about more than this year, the way that The Last Dance was about more than just the final season. So there'll be a little bit of that.
And that might be another reason why they ended up with ESPN, because ESPN owns all this footage already, and Netflix hasn't been around that long, certainly not covering sports that long. So it's just they have the archives built in.
And can turn it into an ESPN propaganda piece,
Absolutely.
too.
Question.
Let's look at Rich Eisen on his opinion on LeBron James in 2007. A lot of that.
Yeah. Yep, no question.
All right, stay tuned. We'll have more Jacob Mann coming up next, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
We all have routines. I'm Jabron, and with diabetes, mine was finger sticks. Sometimes I skip them because they hurt. The Freestyle Libre 3CGM changed that. It gives me glucose insights without finger sticks. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
Finger sticks are required if your glucose alarms and readings do not match symptoms, or when you see check blood glucose symbol for the first 12 hours. The views expressed should not be used for medical diagnosis or treatment as a substitute for professional medical advice. Individual circumstances may vary. For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
All systems go. This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson. Now, every day from 2 to 6 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson, thank you for making us a part of your day. WNBA sending out video, own goal and themselves in gambling is just next level. And then coming out the next day and saying we're not going to punish them. Did you see this? We were talking about TV. And there's a...
Kind of.
There's a Chicago TV station, WGN News, that was doing a story about Kyle Shanahan and his accident.
Mm-hmm.
And with the story, they had, what do they call it when they put up a picture? Was it B-roll or whatever while they're talking? They put up a picture of Kyle Shanahan, but it's a meme with Kyle Shanahan's face on the, I guess now infamous picture of Mitch McConnell in the hospital
with his wife. Is that
with his
Mitch's wife
yeah.
in the red and white kind of checkered shirt?
Yeah, where everybody was concerned Mitch had passed, and they sent out a picture to say no, he's still with us. And so, anyway, that made it on to WGN News, and I just wonder. How that stuff happens. That's all.
AI is going to make this so common. And we'll have to get better at checking, is this a real thing? I mean, obviously, you should have recognized that. The second you showed me the photo, I realized, oh, that's Mitch McConnell's wife.
It's
that
a
photo
meme.
has been everywhere for the last 2 weeks or whatever it is.
I'm sure that Kyle Shanahan meme has been everywhere for the last 2 days.
But I do, you do worry that AI is going to get the same way fake Twitter accounts still continue to catch people, NBA Centel or whatever, about fake trades or fake Shams Charania reports, still seem to catch people every trade deadline because people are hungry to report the news or aggregate the news. But yes, in this point, it's just like, you're just going to have to be a little bit more thorough about where did this photo come from? Did I just Google image search Shanahan Hospital and use that?
I showed you the worst one ever, hoping that it was the same TV station.
Chicago outlet?
And it was not. But they were doing a story on the new Cubs mascot and put up a cartoon picture of the mascot.
Because the Cubs mascot is doing the Winnie the Pooh thing.
Yeah, it is.
Porky Pig in it.
Yeah, it doesn't have has just the shirt or whatever.
Only.
And so somebody drew in something very inappropriate. But it makes it into the newscast, and it stays up.
And it's for way too long.
It stays up forever. It's like, how did that happen? Did nobody double check the random photo they just pulled off the internet?
I do like that at some point that conversation was absolutely had when they were unveiling the Cubs mascot of like, okay, there's the shirt, there's no pants. Do we need to have pants? Should he wear shorts? Should he wear pants like the team wears? Should they be, the short pants, the old knickerbockers that everyone used to wear? Is it a Winnie the Pooh situation? I mean, these actual millionaires having to have these conversations about what the Cub mascot would wear as pants, specifically for the reason we're talking about of the other old photo. That ended up on a news outlet.
I'm telling you, I hope the KSL Channel 5 graphics folks are on point. Be weary out there.
But Larry H. Miller, rest his soul, and Gail Miller at one point had to sit down and say, what's Jazz Bear wearing? Is it just a Jazz jersey? Does he have shorts on? What's going on there? And he does wear the Jazz shorts. He's got the whole uniform. And you know what I will say? Team shorts. Put them in pants. Put your mascot in pants.
I got to be honest with you. I've never given this a thought.
I haven't either until now. No, until
life.
now. And now I'm glad Jazz Bear has shorts, so we don't have to talk about what's going on otherwise.
On the list of things that I don't care about, which is quite long, mascots are definitely
mascots and jerseys are two very high on our list of things we don't care about.
I do not give the
Combining
slightest.
the two, apparently I have more interest.
Apparently. I'm kind of shocked.
I think all of our major mascots are properly clothed. Bumble.
What would be improperly clothed, Christian?
Well, like we were talking about.
Why are
shorts.
Why are we thinking about mascots this way?
I think Tusky is he's fully decked out, right?
I don't know. I've never given it a second thought. I don't know.
What did Grisby wear?
Who's Grisby?
What do you mean, who's Grisby?
You've never been to a Grizzlies game?
He's the mascot for the Utah Grizzlies. Grisby.
Rest in peace.
Yeah, he's moving out of town. I don't think Grisby was wearing pants. So, no, Christian. Not all of our local mascots were rocking jorts or whatever.
And I'm fine with that.
I was wrong. Bumble just has a jersey on, no pants.
I think I'm team pants.
It doesn't. I'm flabbergasted by this conversation. I had no idea that this is where we were going to end up.
Well, I mean, you brought up the Cubs story.
And you went
that was absolutely informed by this decision. I mean, the reason
you went right to like executives talking about whether or not to make the mascot anatomically correct. No, I don't
I'm not
think
talking
so.
about anatomically correct. I'm just saying, do I prefer my mascots in shorts? I mean, they're wearing. Why do they have jerseys on?
To show the logo of the team.
Okay, so yeah.
Why does Winnie the Pooh have a shirt on? I don't know.
Just get a tattoo.
I don't give it a second thought.
I'm just saying, yeah, maybe they should. If you're going to wear the jersey, just wear the full uniform. That's my thought. Otherwise, no jersey. I just want a bumblebee running around. We'll be like, well, yeah, it's the Buzz or the Bees or the Stingers or whatever they were in this iteration when Bumble came about, I should say. If they're going to put him in a Bees jersey, I'd say throw some pants on him too.
All right. Who knows what we get into coming up next? It's Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.